Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to episode 4 of the Bronx Buzz podcast. And to all of you that have showed support for the first 3 episodes, I really do appreciate you liking the video, subscribing to the channel, whether it's from TikTok clips or my Instagram or from here on YouTube. I really do appreciate each and every one of you that have showed support for the podcast. Like I said, I want this to be a community-oriented podcast. So if you want to be featured or if you have a question you want answered on here, comment down below or message me on Instagram or TikTok, and I'd be more than happy to feature you on here as well. Socials in the bottom left, subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. I've got a lot to talk about today. The current plan for this episode, I want to start off talking about the trade deadline, the trades we've made, and the multitude of rumors that are flying around. I mean, it's been a crazy week for me as a Yankees content creator, and I'm going to wrap out with some more general topics. Obviously, we got to talk about Judge's injury, some topics that has arose as well, and then also just the current state of the Yankees team and the division, baseball as a whole. So I've got a couple of things that I wanted to talk about here. I'm not going to waste too much time. I'm just going to get right into it because it is an action-packed episode today. All right, so starting off with the trade we made for Ryan McMahon from the Colorado Rockies, we sent over our number 8 and number 15 prospects, Griffin Herring and Josh Groves, in exchange for Ryan McMahon, who's been really impressive in his 2 games so far in the Bronx. 3 hits, including a bases-loaded double off of Zach Wheeler. Offensively, he's looked really, really good. I did expect his numbers to kind of punch up a little bit from when he played in Colorado to when he came over for the Yankees. He's been swinging the bat well lately, and he had been swinging the bat well in Colorado prior to the trade as well. But also, games just mean more when you're playing for a competitive Yankees team other than one of the worst teams in baseball history with the 2025 Colorado Rockies. And also the information scouting we have with the Yankees, the plan, it's all so much better and so much more articulate than the Rockies system is right now. And so I expect his numbers to continue to trend upwards now that he's wearing the Yankee pinstripes. And defensively, oh my gosh, he's been absolutely amazing. He's already accumulated more F4 in his 2 games with the Yankees than Oswald Peraza did in the entire year, which is just a testament to how much we needed a guy like McMahon. He's made some really, really good plays. He's looked really, really calm as well. As the biggest thing I've noticed is his demeanor over at third. He takes his time. He makes the plays. He's got a really, really strong throwing arm, but it's also incredibly accurate and on point. So that's something that we've missed. We really needed a defensive, star in our team, and he's proven that he could be that for us at the hot corner. And some reporters have even gone out and said that he was a better fit for the Yankees than Eugenio Suarez was. And I'm starting to see why. Like I said, the defense, the lefty swing in Yankee Stadium is going to play. Like I said, the offense will take up there as well. And with Suarez, he was a rental, It's going to be an expensive rental, too. There was no guarantee if you traded for him that he would stay in the Bronx past the end of this season. So with McMahon, we got some team control. We didn't have to give up much, and we've got ourselves a hell of a ball player on both sides of the ball. So respect to Brian Cashman for getting that deal done, and at a pretty cheap price as well, because he's been fantastic so far. And another guy we traded for that we haven't seen yet is Ahmed Rosario from the Washington Nationals. We had to give up Clayton Beeter and Brom Martinez. Obviously, Beeter was up and down in between AAA and the bigs this year, mainly down. Didn't have his best stuff in the big leagues. He's got a good fastball, but he left too much stuff over the heart of the plate and struggled with command. Got punished at an ERA over 10, so hopefully he can figure it out in Washington, wishing nothing but the best for the kid. But what the Yankees get is a cheap, really, really good bench bat. Rosario is on a 1-year, $2 million deal. The Nationals have already paid their portion of that, so pretty cheap for the Yankees as well. And what we're getting is a 270 hitter that has over 700 OPS. And then against left-handed pitching, he's hitting 300 with an OPS over 900. So he hangs in there. He's a utility man as well. He plays good defense all around the diamond. Nothing spectacular on the defensive side, but really, really good player. Having a platoon bat like him that can come in there and just crush lefties, like that makes your lineup so much better 1 through 9 and from the bench. Like with the additions of McMahon and Rosario, and when Judge comes back from this 10-day IL stint, the Yankees, I believe, will have the best lineup in baseball in terms of just pure depth from the leadoff spot to the bottom of the bench. We're going to have the best lineup in baseball. I truly do believe that with these additions that Brian Cashman has made. But even with those 2 moves from McMahon and Rosario, it doesn't seem like Brian Cashman is happy with the offense just quite yet. Today alone, we've had links with 3 right-handed hitters: Austin Slater of the White Sox, and then Willie Castro and Harrison Bader of the Minnesota Twins. All 3 of them having pretty solid years, 250-plus hitters that have done really well against lefties. So it seems like that's what Brian Cashman is looking for, is for more platoon options against left-handed starters. I would be happy with any of them, specifically a Bader reunion, just because what he did in the 2022 postseason and the energy he brought to the Bronx, being a Yankees fan growing up, was really spectacular. But the question is, do we need another bat now that we've got Rosario and McMahon and we got Judge coming back as well? Do we need another right-handed bat when really I think the priority should be pitching? Like I said, I would love any of them in the Bronx. I think if we do end up and go sign one of those guys, the one that would be on the way out from the current roster would be Escara, and Wells and Rice would take up the catching duties. But if we go and we got one of those three, I think that, you know what, that's fine with me. If we went and we got Harrison Bader or Willie Castro or Austin Slater, I think that'd be fine. I would welcome it because, like I said, you can never have too many talented bats. But I think the priority really does need to be pitching right now, especially now that we have handled McMahon and Rosario. And to kind of dive in further into what I mean by we need pitching, our bullpen has the 21st worst ERA among all MLB qualified bullpens. There's not a lot of swing and miss in there. Obviously, for a while at the start of the season, it was a really, really good bullpen, one of the better ones in the game. But over the past month and a half, our ERA in the bullpen has ballooned. You know, I think the back end of our bullpen is really good. Tim Hill's been fantastic. He's done his thing. Luke Weaver, even though he's had a couple of hiccups after the injury, you know what Weaver's going to give you. And then Devin Williams has really proved himself in pinstripes as of late. He's been so good. But the problem's been that fifth, sixth inning, especially when our starters have struggled a little bit as of late, getting us deep into games. We're too reliant on Jonathan Loizaga right now. I love Lowe. I think he's got great stuff. Sorry about that. I think he's got great stuff. And the stuff has played the same as it always has, but it's been the command that hasn't quite come along after those injuries this season. He's had troubles with the long ball. He's had troubles walking batters, and we're still looking at him to be the big bridge guy, and I don't know if he can be that this season. If he does want to be that, we're going to need him to make some significant steps forward. He's still got the wicked stuff, but he's hitting batters. He's kind of all over the place, and you never know. When you see him warming up, I find myself being like, oh, God, how's the dice going to roll today? Like, what version of Jonathan Loizaga are we going to get? And that level of inconsistency is deadly against really, really good offenses down the stretch. So that's why I think even if it's just one or two more bullpen arms, you know, go and get a guy like David Bednar or Dennis Santana. Just raid the Pirates bullpen. The Pirates have a great bullpen. There are bullpen arms out there for you, and one that we've been linked with is Jake Bird of the Colorado Rockies, a sidearm righty who's got a 4.05 ERA, but his expected ERA is 3.34. He's got really good swing and miss stuff. He's got a K rate of over 27% in 53.1 innings this year in Colorado, the toughest place to pitch in the major leagues. Really nasty sinker-sweeper combo, really hard against right-handed pitchers. Sweeper's got some of the best movement in the major leagues. He's a free agent after 2028, so team control. The Rockies have shown that they're going to be willing to deal at the deadline. I would absolutely love that move. I think he shores up a little bit of that mid-game when it comes to our bullpen. And he's given the Rockies some length at times as well. So like I said, he can kind of do it all. I would absolutely love that move. Still pretty young too. I think Matt Blake would make him even better. So I would love to see us go and get Jake Bird if the price is right for sure. But beyond the bullpen, I feel like also it's been known that we've been monitoring the starting pitching market because, like I said, some of our starters have struggled lately. Stroman and Warren, you never know quite what you're going to get with them. And Schlittler's a rookie, so you never know what's going to happen with him either. So there's a lot of question marks in the rotation right now, and you do have to think Luis Hill will be back pretty soon, maybe one more start in AAA, and then you'd think he'd be ready to join the rotation again and throw 85 or 90 pitches. Maybe when Yarborough comes back, even though his injury has been a little bit longer than initially expected, he would join the rotation again. But what I think is likely is that Yarborough will go back into the bullpen so that he doesn't have to work himself up to being able to throw 100 pitches again. But if we went out and got a starter, right now we have emerged as the front runners to trade for Dodgers starter Dustin May. Dustin May's got really, really good stuff. He's always had really good stuff, but he's prone to injuries. He's shown that time and time again throughout his young career. He's only 27 years old and had so many just devastating injuries. And then also hasn't had the best season this year. 4.85 ERA, still strikes out a decent amount of hitters, but 1.35 whip. I would prefer, if we're going to go and get a starter, go out there and splash the cash, right? Don't take a chance. Go and get someone that is proven, like a Mitch Keller, who's been known, we've been monitoring. You know, that's a guy that, well, is he going to be an ace? No. But can he go out there and give you a 3.5 ERA every year and give you into the 7th inning, 8th inning of some starts? That's what we need right now, to save the bullpen and just make sure that we're not overworking our bullpen guys, because right now each of our starters, even Fried and Rodon, have struggled a little bit lately going deep into games. So we need another starter that we can rely on beyond just Fried and Rodon consistently to get us deep into games and put forward quality starts. I think we need a starter. Even with Luis Hill coming back, I think we need Mitch Keller. I'm I'm big on Mitch Keller. I really want us to go and get Keller, but it would cost a lot. We'd have to give up a pretty good haul for him. But like I said, Jeff Passan reported we have the farm system to go and get anyone we want in baseball. So if you really, really want a starting pitcher, there's a market for you there. Now, moving on from the trade deadline craze, Aaron Judge obviously on the 10-day IL with that flexor strain. Terrible news there, but the UCL is intact, so that's the biggest, most important thing. But when he comes back, he will have to DH for a couple of weeks upon his return. And that means Giancarlo Stanton, who is the everyday DH, will have to go into the field to keep his bat in the lineup. And it looks like that's what we're going to try to do, especially at home in a ballpark where Yankee Stadium is one of the few ballparks where you can get away with Stanton in right field. But the question is, how much defense are you losing with him out there, and how much are his legs going to be able to support him and prevent injury with his advanced age and the injury history there? It is a concern. He's got the elite mentality where he's saying that he's willing to go out there and do anything to help the team win. So big respect to Big G. Like, what a leader and what an example for the young guys in the clubhouse. But it is concerning to me because he can get away with it with the reduced size of the ballpark out there. But it's the injury concern and also the fact that we've come to expect Gold Glove level defense out in right field this year. Both Bellinger and Judge have played really, really good defense when they're out there. And Stanton hasn't played the field in 2 or 3 years, So it's concerning. And he won't be out there every day, so that means there will be times when he will be on the bench, which sucks. Because we want to have his bat in the lineup every single day. But we just can't afford to go out there and send him out there every day with his legs and have him get hurt. So when we can, he will be out there, but also he'll have to be on the bench some days as well until Aaron Judge does come back, which sucks. It's just a terrible situation with Judge being hurt. But like I said, full respect to Stanton for the mentality to be willing to go out there and play some outfield. But it is definitely a concern for me. But while talking on Aaron Judge and his injury, there have been some people that have said now that Aaron Judge is going to have to miss, 8-9 games, that he is not the favorite to win the American League MVP anymore. I'm going to stop everybody that says that right there. Look, what Calvalli is doing is amazing, right? He's at 41 homers now. But Aaron Judge he's going to win the MVP. He deserves it. He's a better ball player than Calvalli. He's a better hitter than Calvalli. And like I said, I have nothing against Calvalli. It's more so the fact that every single day in my comments and in my DMs, I have Mariners fans, all 8 of them, flooding in and saying Raleigh's the MVP. But the big thing is, right, are we going to give the MVP to someone who's tied for 70th in the league for batting average, hitting .255, when Judge is leading the league in, let's look at this here, batting average, OPS, on-base percentage, slugging, hits, and that's all of MLB. That's not the American League. That's the entire MLB. And then Raleigh is just leading in homers. Eugenio Suarez has more RBIs than him at the moment. So, no. I don't think Calvalli has much of a chance there. And it pisses me off when people don't realize how historic of a season Aaron Judge is having, even though he's going to have to miss a few games here. I still think he probably catches Raleigh in homers and RBIs as well. He still has a chance to win the Triple Crown this year. And like I said, no offense to what Calvalli has done. And if you want to make the argument to, he's a catcher, more difficult position, absolutely. Not arguing that there. But Judge has been a better defender at his position, a much easier position in right field this year than Calvalli has. Calvalli has not been platinum glove level like he was last year, but the bat has been absolutely fantastic. Nothing but respect for what he's done. But a guy hitting .250, not even getting on base at a 380 clip, he's not MVP level. Even though the power stuff is incredible, he's not on the same stratosphere as Aaron Judge. I would take guys like Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani over him every day of the week. Bobby Witt, Ronald Acuna, there's more complete players out there. And like I said, no disrespect to Calvalli at all, but I think it's unfair to him to even put him in the same MVP conversation as Aaron Judge right now. I think Judge is just in a completely different stratosphere when it comes to that. But now that I've successfully pissed off every single Seattle Mariners fan, I wanted to talk kind of about the Blue Jays, the American League East, kind of the general standings right now. At the time of recording, now that we beat the Phillies yesterday and the Blue Jays lost to the Tigers yesterday, we're 5.5 games back. But I do think there is a very, very good window for the Yankees to come back and win this division. All it takes is us getting hot. We haven't been able to get hot all year, truly, truly hot. We've had some win streaks, yes, but the problem is this team is so good. When it all clicks, this team is going to be terrifying. And I think Toronto as a team is outperforming. They're punching above their weight. I'm not sold on their rotation. Their bullpen is solid, but nothing incredible. And then their lineup 1 through 9 is not great. They're pretty top heavy. They don't slug very much, but they put the ball in play. They're scrappy. Fair play to them. They've done well against the Yankees head to head this year, but I just don't think they're on the same level of team as teams like the Yankees, Dodgers, Phillies. I just think they're punching above their weight. Maybe that's, wishful thinking, but I think there's going to be an opening for the Yankees when the Blue Jays start to lose some momentum, that they're riding purely on right now. I think the Yankees will have a window to go in and win this division there, but like I said, maybe that's wishful thinking. But that also brings me to my next point, that there's no team in baseball this year that I'm truly sold on as a World Series favorite. I think in terms of just teams right now that are really, really good, I think the NL Central teams, the Brewers and Cubs, have played really, really good baseball. But every team has holes right now, especially as we approach this trade deadline. It'll be really interesting to see what teams do and what they improve, because there's no team in baseball right now that you can point at and be like, that team, that's the team to beat. Last year, we all know it was the Dodgers, right? They had an absolutely insane regular season, but this year, everybody's kind of either really good, or bad. There's no teams that are middle of the pack. There's just everybody's kind of on the same level, which I'm really excited for, because we don't know what's going to happen come October now, because there's no standout team that's the team to beat. There's just so many questions asked around every single team. The Tigers, I think, are pretty fraudulent right now. They've been exposed recently. Like I said, the Blue Jays are punching above their weight. And the Dodgers have holes. Every team has holes this year, and I think that's something that's good for baseball, with it being so open this year that any team can go in and take it. So, like I said, that's why I want the Yankees to be buyers, to be aggressive, because we can go and we can take this thing, man. We've got such a talented group, especially when we start getting guys back from injury. There's no reason we can't go out there, get hot over these last couple of months, and then go win a World Series. Like I said, I'm a very optimistic fan, but I truly believe we have that capability. And that brings me to my next point. I'm a very optimistic fan. A lot of Yankees fans, as I'm sure we all know, are not. What I've seen a lot recently is a comparison to the 2023 Yankees with this 2025 Yankees team, and I'm here to say that is absolutely ludicrous, right? In 2023, we rolled out guys like Willie Calhoun, Jackie Bradley Jr., Franchi Cordero, Joni Brito, Billy McKinney on a regular basis. Even Domingo Germán had a lot of starts for us and threw a perfect game, fair enough. But we rolled out guys that just are not worthy of wearing the Yankees pinstripes in 2023. It was a terrible season. We barely finished over 500. This year, we've got some absolute dogs. We've made good trades, and we got guys like Bellinger, Stanton, Judge, Dominguez. Why am I blanking on everybody right now? We still have Fried, Rodon. We got Devin Williams, Luke Weaver, Tim Hill. We've got a ton of superstars in this Yankees lineup and in this Yankees pitching staff. This is not the 2023 Yankees. We are not hopeless. We are not throwing out people that don't deserve to wear the pinstripes anymore. This team is competitive. This team has a chance to go and win every single game. We're out there, and this team has a chance to go and win a World Series. I know it hasn't been a good month and a half, but this team has no limit. If it can get hot, like I said, if we can get going and click over these last couple of months, there's no reason this Yankees team doesn't have as good a chance as anyone to go and win the World Series. You can't say that about that 2023 team. Just the sheer talent difference is enough alone. I mean, can you say the same about, well, we collapsed a little bit in this last month or so like we did in 2023? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, this result is not going to be the same as 2023. We have too much talent to let that happen, and I truly, truly believe that. And to round it off, we've got a 4-game set against the Tampa Bay Rays coming up at the stadium here. First pitch is actually in about 2 hours at the time of filming this, filming it about 2 hours before the Rays game, so hopefully the game has gone well if you're watching it after that. But yeah, it was an action-packed episode today, guys. Tried to keep it compact for you, not take up too much of your guys' time, but there was a lot to cover with the Yankees today. Lots of craziness as we approach the trade deadline, and then also just a crazy time for this Yankees franchise with the struggles we've had, but also the potential this team has. It's been so polarizing. But thank you guys for watching the video. I really do appreciate you guys. Like I said, everyone that has showed support on this podcast, I really do appreciate you guys supporting my dreams of covering the Yankees. So it means the world to me. Please continue to do so. Follow the socials, subscribe, leave a comment, anything like that. And I really do appreciate it, each and every single one of you guys. But thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. And as always, go Yankees, baby.